is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A chaotic scene unfolding on the Connecticut coast tonight. A fight that started on the beach in West Haven, culminating in shots fired and at least 2 police officers being injured. We begin tonight on that breaking news. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Details are still limited, but police can confirm the fight started during a large gathering at West Haven Beach. Police estimate somewhere around 2,000 people, mostly teens and young adults, were by the water. Police broke up that group, but not too long after, police received reports of a shooting at a gas station on Campbell Avenue.
Now, suspects in that shooting were taken into custody. Only minor injuries were reported. Police are still trying to figure out if the shooting and the fight were connected. Over the course of tonight's events, 2 officers were injured, one while breaking up the fight, and another arrested one of the suspects in the shooting. The extent of their injuries has not been released at this point.
And we're closely following this story. You can find more coverage on our free Fox 61 News app. Just use the QR code there you see on your screen to download our app or go to fox61.com.
And now to a story you will only find here on Fox 61. This tax day, dozens of construction workers and carpenters gathered in the capital city demanding change.
Union representatives say wage theft and employment misclassification cost workers and the state more than $100 million a year.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia was at a rally, and he joins us in studio tonight with more on their message. Jake.
Well, Brent and Sarah, workers say more and more construction employers are taking advantage of their employees by not paying them their fair share or not taking taxes out altogether. Workers say their families pay the price, and they've had enough. Members of a regional carpenters union held a rally around Pulaski Circle in Hartford Monday afternoon for their annual Tax Fraud Day of Action. Union leaders say the industry has become filled with companies and contractors who take advantage of their own workers by committing wage theft or classifying employees as independent contractors to the IRS.
And then at the end of the year, the burden falls on the individual rather than the person who was supposed to have done it to begin with if they're following the law.
This building at 55 Elm Street, once a state office building, now in the process of being converted into luxury apartments, has been ordered by the state to stop work because of this.
There was a DOL investigation. They shut the job down. No one was in compliance. Cash payment. None of the burdens were being paid, none of the taxes, the workers' comp. So they shut it down so everybody got in order, and then they can resume business, or other legitimate contractors can come and do the work.
Ben Whalen is a residential construction contractor along the shoreline and says so many businesses are doing this and providing the work at a cheaper cost that it's costing him business.
So we started losing to labor costs, and when you look at labor costs, carpenters make what carpenters make, but then there's other things involved, workers' comp, your payroll tax, these other things that get involved that really drive the wage of a carpenter.
Whalen wants to see more accountability from state agencies, but says customers can help by asking if they have employees or independent contractors.
Whether it's the building department, Department of Labor, the laws are there. They just need to be enforced. And if they're not being enforced, people should be asking the question of their contractors that are coming through the door.
Former Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin says this is critical for the local economy.
Pay fair wages, pay them legally, pay your insurance, pay your taxes, and build up communities the right way, in a way that allows us to build up the middle class, allows you to lift up your families, allows all of us to do better.
Now, a new report by the Century Foundation estimates that 30,000 workers in Connecticut alone are facing wage theft or being misclassified. According to that report also, construction industry tax fraud costs workers and Connecticut taxpayers $146 million a year. Reporting in studio, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. If you're procrastinating on your taxes this year, it's really coming down to the wire now. You need to have them filed by midnight. If you live in New London County or own a business there, you do have an additional couple of months to file taxes, state and federal. The government approved an extension to help those who dealt with flooding earlier this year. But if you need more time to file, you need to request an extension by tonight. You will have to fill out the IRS Form 4868, and you can do so online. If approved, you will be given until until October 15th to submit your 2023 return. Just know any money you owe the government is still due today. To avoid paying fees and interest, you should estimate what you owe and pay that amount right away.
New here at 10, 3 teens are recovering tonight after being hit by a car. This happened this afternoon near Hubbard and Maple Street near the high school in Glastonbury. Police tell us the teens were running in the road when they were hit. Glastonbury superintendent says they were all members of the high school's crew team. We're told the injuries aren't serious, but the students were still taken to the hospital. The driver stayed on scene and is cooperating with police.
All right, time for a first check on the forecast, and boy, it was a perfect day with lots of sunshine, temperatures feeling very spring-like.
Finally, the weather's catching up to the calendar. After all the rain we've had, it was nice to get dry things out today. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has a look at what we can expect tomorrow. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it all over again. We'll shave a few degrees off the high temperatures, so not quite as warm as today. We were a couple of degrees shy of the record in Bridgeport, which almost got to 80 degrees, 75 Hartford, 77 in Chester. And tomorrow we'll see high temperatures between 65 and 70 with lots of sunshine to go along with it. So if life got in the way of you spending some time outside today, you got another chance tomorrow. Temperatures are in the 50s to right around 60 degrees, and it's still a bit breezy. Winds out of the north with gusts up to 20 or 25 miles an hour. There's also a couple of hit or miss showers out there in eastern Connecticut. The air is super dry, so in some cases these lighter showers are not making it down to the ground, but Ashford, Voluntown, certainly seeing a shower or two. But it's good timing, right, to have these showers come through now and not during the day, which was so beautiful. Any storms that you see continue to glide safely to the south. Overnight lows will dip back into the 40s, and then look at this sunshine that we are in store for tomorrow. Bright sun, just a bit breezy. Winds out of the northwest about 10 to 20, and we'll see high temperatures between 65 to right around 70 degrees. We'll see more clouds, but similar temperatures on Wednesday, and then a rising chance for showers Wednesday night. We know the rain will return eventually. We'll explain coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Developing out of Bridgeport tonight, where a group of tenants is fighting back against who they call a heartless out-of-state landlord. They claim the landlord has served them with an unlawful eviction. Fox 61's Matt Caron has their story.
Well, these multifamily buildings here on Howe Street were just bought by a New York landlord. Tenants here held a rally to protest their sudden eviction and a call on city and state leaders to stand with them.
They think that we don't know our rights.
Leslie Caraballo has lived here on Howe Street in Bridgeport with her young daughter for the last 5 years. Slapped suddenly with this eviction notice, giving her 7 days to get out.
I don't know what my plan is, because right now it's like, who's going to rent out to me?
Leslie is just one of more than 30 families facing imminent eviction after a New York landlord operating as Yoso Properties bought several buildings in a transaction totaling over $6.5 million.
Landlords who are moving into the city of Bridgeport, buying up loads of property and giving people a week, 2 weeks to find somewhere else to go.
State Senator Heron Gaston joined the rally to support the tenants and call out property predators for contributing to a state affordable housing crisis. He and other advocates like Make the Road Connecticut support legislative action, including a rent cap and a bill that would require just cause evictions.
This is our community. They're tearing us all apart, breaking our buildings down to make better luxury buildings, just to make them richer.
Bridgeport City Council President Heidi Nieves told Fox 61 she's been in close contact with the new landlord to broker a deal on behalf of tenants.
Low income and affordable housing is really scarce here in the city of Bridgeport, and how hard it is for our families to relocate.
Nieves says the landlord is evicting the tenants in order to renovate the apartments, and they verbally agreed to pay for relocation.
Then I want them to put that in writing. And he did say that they're willing to allow them to live for 1 to 3 months without paying rent to assist with their relocation.
Tenants tell us most of the people who live here are either elderly, disabled, or have kids. And officials say this is a situation that we are seeing across the state. They say there not only needs to be more quality, affordable housing, but also more safeguards in place to keep tenants from being exploited. Reporting in Bridgeport, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And new at 10 tonight, Hamden police are investigating after a body was found in Lake Whitney this morning. Police tell us the man's body was pulled from the water by Hamden firefighters. No word yet whether that man has been identified. Police say there were no signs of trauma, but a full autopsy is still needing to be conducted before determining a cause of death.
A man said to be one of Canada's most wanted has been extradited to Canada from Connecticut. Kensworth Francis was arrested by members of the U.S. Marshals last month in Hartford. He's wanted on 2 counts of murder and 1 count of attempted murder for a deadly shooting. Police link him to a shooting from 2 years ago near Toronto. Officials say Francis had been living under a different name here in Connecticut.
Big changes coming to Hartford's Trinity College. President Joanne Berger-Sweeney has announced she will be stepping down. Berger-Sweeney announced today she will retire from Trinity College in June of 2025. She's held that position for the last 11 years. Hartford Mayor Arunan Arulampalam released a statement calling her departure a big loss. He says her commitment to campus equity, diversity, and extensive community engagement has not only shaped the future of the college, but has also strengthened the city of Hartford's partnership with Trinity. End quote.